The pale-face war between the brothers was soon over, and the white man once again reached his greedy hand toward the land of our fathers. After winning a few battles, we joined forces with the Cheyenne and the Arapahoes. The spear of revenge bathed the land in blood. We took from the whites what they had promised us, but never delivered. We had to prevent the guns and food sent by the Great Father in Washington from reaching the Bluecoats, if we were to have any hope of taking their strong forts. We gathered along the great stream that the Palefaces called the North Platte River. We were planning to attack a Paleface fort that lay to the north called Camp Dodge. The horse soldiers had led many campaigns from there, and our squaws had to mourn the deaths of many warriors in their tents. Our scouts reported that a wagon train with reinforcements was on its way to the fort. We had to stop it. Our goal was to first destroy the white men's watchtowers along the river, leaving the wagon train defenseless so that we could take it. We could count on the soldiers in the fort doing everything in their power to prevent this from happening.
Welcome back to America, No Peace Beyond the Line, and welcome to the next scenario for the Native Americans. And here we go. This time we have to intercept a supply train. We're going to do that. We have 2 American camps here, and the train's going to go from this one here to that one, and to prepare properly we have to destroy some towers that guard the river. And that's not going to be as trivial as it might sound, because towers are kinda tough, and the units you have in... Why can't I build anywhere? There we go. The units that are in there can just gun you down a lot faster than you might think. You can unsettle here a gun guy. This guy here has a gun. He's kind of like these hunters here, but, well, a lot stronger. And almost twice as strong. But we need guns to train those guys, and we don't have any guns right now. But anyway, we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4... Well, let's just get 6 of these guys here. I want a good amount of lumber here, and let's get the lumber upgrade as well. And we can also get some gold here. Let's get... do we want a gold warehouse? I don't think we really need one. Instead, we're going to get coral here. And anything else? Not really. So yeah, we'll have to prepare well for that, because we also have to intercept that train after we destroyed all the towers, and if you're not prepared for that, you're probably going to get yourself destroyed rather easily, and we don't want that. So the coral is here, then we're going to build some buffer buildings. Such as... we probably want a training teepee, don't we? Yeah, let's build that here. Just so everything is away from our workers, because those are pretty fragile. Then we can build some stuff like fields and whatnot here. And then we'll be good. There we go. You can cut me this. After that we also want some women here. Unfortunately you can't build a second headquarters. So you can only train so many units at the same time. Well, only one at the same time, so your speed is somewhat limited in that regard. You can build me animal processing facility, don't really need that anymore. Let's build a sleeping teepee here, just some structures to distract whoever is going to come after us here. I guess you can get me, so there's more buffaloes here. Maybe we do want a... Yeah, I think we want an animal processing facility here, because these are kind of far away. And this is really easy meat, they're worth 100. Yeah, that's definitely worth building one here. Let's build one right in the center here. And what we can also do is maybe get 1, 2, 3, 4 more of you. And you can all cut me lumber here. So we get all that lumber cut. You build me that, please. And you also get me more lumber here. You also want some workers to get me that gold. Mainly for the upgrades, not so much for the spear guys, because spear guys are really only so useful. But more about that in a bit. What do we want to build next? Maybe one sleeping TP here. Again, as a little bit of a buffer. You can help with that. And you can help with hunting these guys here. And then we're good for the time being. We're going to get more of you, and we're going to get maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 guys to get me some gold. And that should be it for the time being. Did we get... Yeah, we did get the lumber upgrade here. Nice, nice. You can build me maybe a granary here. And now we have a generic mounted chief. So we can actually ride this guy here into battle without having to fear that we lose the entire scenario. Just for losing that guy. And I guess you couldn't be bothered to get me some of that delicious buffalo meat. In fact, you couldn't either. Well, but this buffalo doesn't have anything left, so I guess that explains it. Anyway. Yep, not quite sure why that... Oh, there we go. Just wondering why that didn't disappear, but that explains it. So we do have a ton of lumber, so we may as well get another training TP up and running here. And you can start agriculturing, because we're going to run low on food now that we can no longer rely on these buffaloes here. And we already have a sizable army here. So 1, 2, 3, 4... Well, guess we don't have enough lumber for that, but that's okay. You can start hauling gold here. Are we on attack? You know what, we don't really want to save this because it's just in the way and that's going to be attacked every single time. So we're just going to wait for those cowboys to destroy that, and then we're going to get something actually useful. We're going to get the gold warehouse, but we're not going to get it close to our gold mine. And there's a reason for that, because if you build a gold warehouse, they're going to transfer the gold to that, but then it's going to appear in brackets here, and then you have to move it from the gold warehouse. And we don't want that. And if you are close to a gold mine, you can transport it directly. If not, you probably don't want that, because then we just want the mining upgrade here, because then we kind of... It's kind of slow if you're very far away. Although those cowboys are probably going to need quite a while until they destroy that animal processing facility. I can't get over the fact that it's just called animal processing and nothing else. But whatever. Then they're going to come for us, but we'll be ready. So you get me that gold here, and then we want to specify an assembly location. There we go, and now you're going to die. Yep. You just stride over here with your cowboy boots and everything. Yeah, these spear guys here are melee units, naturally. They're not javelin guys. But they have an attack of 10, so they're kind of expensive. Because they have gold. The gun guy is better because he's ranged, but at the same time you also need guns for the gun guys, so there's that. So you shall can't build any expanded structures, that's okay. You shall build me a TP of the Elders, which we can't afford because that costs too much gold. It does cost too much gold. Okay, I guess we should have gotten some of that gold a little bit earlier. Oh well. Well, that was my fault, but okay. Guess we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more of you. Yeah, spear guys cost gold. We don't really want the spear guys. Right now we just want our tech upgrades. And the TP of the Elders is our tech building. So I think otherwise we're pretty good here. We're just going to use these. Actually, I think we're going to get even more women after this. We probably want 15 fields this time. No worries about the lumber, we're going to get enough lumber for everyone. You can build me a second granary here. And more warriors. Once we have 20 or so, that's generally enough to fend off all attacks. If you just face a single faction. And this early on, they're not super aggressive, they just send those weak cowboys. Cowboys can deal some damage in groups, because they do have range, even though their range is weak. And once you have a larger group, you can just have the enemy come to you, step by step, or one by one, and then gun them down in one fell swoop, like each individual unit. So they can be somewhat useful. Yeah, so you can get hardened arrowheads and protective clothing. Both of which are quite useful because our units are already brittle enough, so we may as well make them a little stronger than they usually are. And let's get some more fields spring up here. Whatever, let's build that here, good enough. And yeah, we do have one left. Over here, please, thank you. So this gold mine has now collapsed, that's totally fine. You can get the protective clothing here, and since I don't really need you for anything else, you can just cut more lumber. I might not need you for that for an extended period of time, but we may as well do that now. And yeah, we definitely want 15. I should have built this a little bit further north, but whatever. Alright, you get that morale up. I'm going to put you on hold ground so you don't just run into enemy forces and get yourself killed. But getting back a leader is actually pretty cheap. The leader only costs like 50 food or so. We can train horses in our corral here, but they do cost 150 food, so unless you have a lot of food and you approach the limit of your pop counter, then they're not really worth it. Afterwards, they're totally worth it because that's a way to increase the power of your troops without building more, so you can make weaker troops a little bit better. But it's not that big of a deal, all things considered. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4 more of you. I think then we're going to max out our pop, and then we're going to get another 5 fields up and running here. That should give us a nice flow of resources. And I guess we can also build a couple more arrow shooters here. Not archers, arrow shooters. Not quite sure why they choose that name specifically, but yeah, maybe that's a direct translation of a native term or so. Well, I say native term. It's not like there's just one Native American language. There we go. Got a couple more of you here. Nice, nice. And yeah, we have this one gun guy here. I guess we may as well utilize you. And yeah, we have a full troop of... Oh, we have more than a full troop. Nice, nice. And let's build a couple more TPs here. Got a nice... We don't have true fortifications, but we may as well get our wall of TPs going here. Shouldn't have built that there, but whatever. You can't raise buildings, by the way, so once you decide to build a building somewhere, you can only hope that the enemy accidentally destroys it. You built that there, but that's fine. If they have to walk a little bit more, that's fine. We don't need to hyper optimize our food production here. This is not some insane Age of Empires 2 multiplayer game. There we go. Awesome, so we have that. I can't squeeze a field in there, that was really frustrating. Can't squeeze a field in. Okay, can't squeeze fields anywhere. Okay, so that should be it. Actually, no, we need one more. We need one more tent. Well, look at that. Okay, we can get 3 more of you. These guys also cost lumber, but it's not like we don't have enough lumber, so there's that. And we might need a little more once we have to renew all these fields, but what we can do is build another wood processing facility here. That should make things a lot easier. Once these guys here are closer to these facilities here, they get your resources a lot faster, because on their way back they walk really slow, which also makes these gold warehouses here more feasible in later scenarios. So we're going to preemptively build another one here. You just can see now the wood's just flowing in, which is great. So then we're just going to keep pumping out you guys here. It seems the enemy isn't really particularly interested in actually attacking us. So what we're going to do is we're going to move north. You guys can stay here. You'll secure the defense of my base. Oh, there's actually more gold here if you want more spear guys, which we don't. At least not right now. I guess we could build a bunch of them because we do have the resource. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Whoops, don't have enough food for that. That's okay. Yeah, let's just get a bunch of spear guys. They're good against horses, or well, not against horses, against mounted units. So they're the pikemen of the Old West. Yeah, around these trees like that, the performance is always poor. Because that's just how it works. But that's alright. Just don't crash, okay? Don't crash and I'm going to be happy. So... okay, let's be a bit careful here. We're going to build another training teepee here. And so what we want to do here is we want to approach these towers, but then we want to lure away these trappers here, because you don't want to fight the tower and the trappers. That's kind of bad. Okay, careful here. And then we're going to attack this tower here, but we're only going to go after this one tower, not after both of them at the same time, because that's just going to cause trouble. There we go. Oh, we can also send our chieftain up here. Yeah, so there's these soldiers in here. They're pretty scary. Because 3 of them in a tower, they can deal a lot of damage. If I had attacked the tower with only 10 guys, so I lost 5 guys in that. So if I attacked this with 10 guys, I probably would have lost, because it also would have meant I would have destroyed the tower slower. So that's a very real possibility. You think like, oh, I've got like 10 guys, I can handle like 3 guys. No, you cannot. Okay, so let's get another training TP up and running here. And once the spear guys are here, we're going to attack that other tower. The spear guys are probably going... oh, hello there. Hey there, buckaroo. These are cowboys, so they're a lot easier to kill than... yeah, those just melt like butter. They're a lot easier to kill than... specify and ascend location here. There we go. You're also going to give me the morale boost here, Chief. Thanks for that. And you can build me another training TP just here. Yeah, so spear guys actually make this a little bit easier. There we go. So let's fill our gaps here, the gaps in our ranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. And yeah, so now that we're producing that much food, everything's totally fine. You can come up here as well. This is going to leave a little bit of a defense force here. Do we need that many? You know what, 10 guys should be enough. If things go really downhill, we can also just get more guys set up. Just send them down, so we don't really need that many. So are we... nope, we're not training anybody else here. So we'll be happy with what we have. Okay. Nice, nice. Where are our workers? You're still on your way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to approach the other towers. And then we're just going to bait them a little bit. Because we want to face those trappers without facing both towers at the same time, because that's facing both towers plus 3 trappers that might get everyone killed here, and we don't want that. There we go, that's a lot better. We didn't even lose anyone in that fight. That's pretty good, and thanks to regeneration, yeah, even though the Mexicans and Americans can heal their troops, it's a lot more convenient to just have them regenerate. Okay, so you just get me even more food because we have nothing else to do for you. So you may as well do that, and whatever, good enough. And damn, do we have a lot of lumber. But we don't really need to worry about that too much, because it's unlikely that we are going to completely... let's get more of you here. That we're going to completely max out our army here anyway. So we're going to assault those towers. And you want an army after assaulting those towers, because you need to intercept the wagons. So don't just sacrifice all your troops to destroy the towers and then stand there with nothing while the wagons arrive. It's just not good. So we can't really fight only one of these towers at the same time, but that's okay. It's going to have to deal with that. So let's step you here. The reason why I'm not using manual targeting to focus fire is because that just confuses all the units and makes it more complicated than it needs to be, but whatever. So it's just easier to have the AI fire here, provided everybody is actually firing. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And oops. So these wagons are now going to leave. And we have a, yep, have a goal change here. Yeah, so they must not make it into Camp Dodge. It's easier said than done. Because the wagons are actually kind of fast. They're the upgraded wagons that the Americans have. So those are the wagons they use to transport gold and whatnot. So, but we have 2 full troops here. And our chieftain is nearby for the morale bonus and whatnot. So we're going to try and have those not reach Camp Dodge. Hopefully. Whoops. Can't get that done, but that's okay. And they don't give you much time here to build up your forces at all. So if you just rush the towers and then have not much else left, then you're in trouble, probably. There we go, more of these. But now that we have like 15 fields here and they're just giving me more and more food, and you know what, we're going to get these guys up here as well. Even if they attack my main camp, I don't really care all that much. Just want more arrow shooters. A lot of arrow shooters to shoot all the arrows. I guess we could also get 1 more spearman. Or we can get 2 more spearmen. Oh, awesome. They are quite powerful, but in a lot of situations you don't really want melee units. There's cause trouble. Okay, anytime. Those wagons. Okay, I guess I said, oh, you have to be prepared here. You can't just do it like this. I guess that wasn't really correct, but whatever. There we go. We have a ton of units here. In fact, we are approaching our pop limit here. But that's totally okay with me. It's one of those games where everything costs 1 pop, except for units that actually are 2 units, like the canoe that has 2 guys piloting it. So that actually costs 2 pop. Okay. So where are those wagons? There we go. Awesome, so you will destroy the first wagon here. Those are also a lot harder to hit than you might think, because they... Oh, yeah, they are, because the arrows don't have that much accuracy, so be careful with these here. There we go. Yeah, that's why you want a huge army here, otherwise this is never going to work. And we also want to destroy the escort here, but we're going to do that. There we go, no problem. Boom. So everybody's dead. Now we have to kill Lieutenant Collins. Okay. So I guess Collins didn't like that. But that's totally okay with me. So let's just... Oh, you didn't have many losses here. Oh, lost one whole guy in that troop. Well, I guess the wagons didn't really fight back, did they? I don't think we need all of these troops here. So we're just going to take 60 guys with us. That should be sufficient. Collins has some guys helping him out, but he won't be that much of a challenge, believe me. So... A field has been harvested. That's okay, we have 5,000 wood. So we're not going to need any of that in the future. And we don't really need any food anymore. Anyway. So we'll be perfectly fine here. Alright, everybody move over here. Okay. Yep. Everything here is perfectly fine. Even if it wasn't, I don't really care, because we only need to kill that one guy. And not really worry about much else here. Oh, hey there, Collins. You wanna come over here? Got some arrows for you. That's probably why you want the spear guys as well, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, yeah, let's just have these guys stop here and then kill everyone. And how many hit points do you have anyway? Hey, less than a regular commander. Oh well. We've killed Lieutenant Collins and his hordes. For good measure. There we go, we win. Yeah, this isn't particularly difficult either because you barely get attacked. They're attacking with 2 cowboys. Just make sure that you have a good army to intercept those wagons because they're difficult to hit. Maybe that's why you want more spear guys, but then again, who cares? Thanks for watching and I shall see you next time. Take care, goodbye.